What's that?
Look at that morning face you got, ready to rock and roll. I love it.
I got a good sleep last night. I told you I was we're live, just I got up at 3 yesterday, and I was like, gosh, I don't know. I just woke up. The wheels start spinning. I'm sure you do the same, right? Where you're like, man, I could
never.
Like,
I sleep till 10 or 11, kind of roll out of bed, walk around a little.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna bust out some stuff. So yeah, but man, we lower this mic. We got pretty solid day yesterday, as you know, and but last night it was time for some rest. I can do that for a couple of days here and there.
Yeah.
But then I gotta reel it in. So
good. It's good. It's almost like I think of like a yo-yo, right? It's like you go out and back.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I say that I'm sitting in Savannah, Georgia right now, meeting Jason Cisneros later. So yeah. I mean, and then I go to Munich tomorrow again.
No kidding. Well, tell Jason I said hello. I told him we're going to get him up here to Maine sometime. Maybe we'll get both you guys up here, put some lobster into you.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, we're having some conversations about all of us, collaborating together. So there's
cool. Yeah,
there's a big future with Jason for sure.
Yeah, sure. I liked him. He burned the place flat. So Bubba says one of those creepy hotel rooms. Yeah, we know the feeling, don't we, Bubba? Trying to get on and do your stuff in the morning.
As long as there's not anyone.
You're looking around. One of those curtains that goes all the way across the wall, but only opens 2 feet. You're like, I wonder what
someone tap me on the shoulder.
Welcome home. Well, it is Halloween time, so whatever. Roy Dahl's here. Say hi to the the original OG.
The guy who won everything at Mach 5 charity event. Yeah,
cleaned up.
The guy who didn't have it rigged.
Should have bought a lottery ticket when he got home. So yeah, Jubal is here with a 9.9, doing all right, feeling good in the neighborhood. Yeah,
the arm wrestling champion of Papa's Ice House.
I missed that. I'm glad I did too, because I can't resist those, and then my elbow gets shredded for about 6 months, and I'm in physical therapy.
Basically, he bets that you will win.
Oh yeah, so then he goes,
you don't get it, yeah, and then now you owe him $100 because he bet that you would win, and very quick on words. I didn't do it. I'm like, I don't believe it. Anybody that wants to bet you on something, there's a reason. So I don't bet.
Especially if it's after 9 p.m. and you have a drink in your hand.
Yeah.
So
we had
Dave Davis says we can start now. He's here from Denver.
Thank you, Dave. We've been waiting.
We've been just right on the edge of our seats, Dave. So I appreciate you showing up. So Bubba says Roy is ineligible to play at my event for prizes. Yeah, he's on the shelf.
He's on the shelf. He's in the cooler for a while.
Here's a bit of advice though, Roy. When you're away this time and you tune into my live in the morning and I say, hey, how's everybody doing today? Don't put 10 in the chat when your wife's on there, okay? Put like a 3, okay? That's how you do that, Roy. I mean, you're old enough to know better. So she posted in there one day, how come Roy's a 10 when he's away? I go, well, I don't know. Let you guys talk about that when he gets home. Jubal says $100 is $100, right? Yeah. So, well, good to see you, man. What's been going on? You're back and forth. You're doing more travel than typical, aren't you?
I am doing a lot of travel, doing a lot of conversations, a lot of behind the scenes conversations with people, talking to some TV producers as well about some stuff. And so, yeah, there's a lot of stuff cooking in the background, man. There's a lot of stuff. So
yeah.
How about you, man? And we have the new program that, as you know, I'm working feverishly and getting the studio back up in the morning to not the morning. Sorry, I saw Roy's thing. Getting the studio back up and going to start filming the content that the team needs. And this is just going to be that 800-pound gorilla, man. I got to tell you, right. I know you've seen bits and pieces. I've been giving it to you, but I think this is going to be a huge game changer for anybody that wants to grow their business. I don't say that lightly.
Yeah, it's I'm excited about it because when we first got together and started doing this thing, and I said, hey, I want to make sure I can answer that question. What do I get for my membership, right? And I want to be able to be clear about that so that people understand, because it's an investment, and it's not just like, oh, hey, thanks for joining. Here's the keys to the car, and see you on the calls. And we're trying to be different. And there's enough coaching companies out there and groups where it's all about the membership, right? All about just building the beast. And we're not doing that. We're, as Jubal says, creating a family.
Well, I guess you can we can ask the people here, right? We can ask them right now if there was a program that existed that took companies and broke them down into segments, 0 to $1 million in revenue, 1 million to 5 million, 5 to 10, and 10 plus. And each, we'll call those phases, right? So those are 4 different phases. And inside of each of those phases, there's 5 pillars. One pillar is leadership, marketing, sales, operations, financials. Each one of these has modules. And those modules have action items along with checklist items that the accountability coach is going to check off inside of each module, inside of each pillar. So let's just say there's 12 modules, since there's 12 months in a year. Wow, interesting. Which means 5 times 12 is 72 modules across the platform.
Did you just say 5 times 12, 72? I gotta stop.
5 times
60.
Is it? No.
6 times 12 is 72.
Okay. Well, they don't teach you that in flights. Anyway,
Guy flies planes.
Okay, so we have 180.
Vector.
There's 174 now. So, but now let me ask you this. So if let's say somebody joins our program and they say, Steve, I'm doing 2 million in revenue.
Right.
Okay, great. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to our master checklist, just like pilots. And we're going to make sure everything is checked off before we elevate you from the 0 to 1 to the 1 to 5.
Right.
So think about that. If you were baking a cake and all of a sudden you realize that you were not putting flour, would the cake ever be made? No. No matter how hard you work, that cake is never going to work. It's never going to be made.
Yeah.
So that's the foundation of making the cake. Is it possible that our checklist, when we start checking everything off on your list, is it possible that there are some ingredients in your business that you've been missing, and that's why your business is not succeeding? And no matter how hard you work, whether you get to 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, you're missing core fundamentals in your foundation, and it's never going to stand. So we are going to, before we let you go past, we are going to check off everything on this master checklist to make sure. Is that something that, I'll ask the group here, is that something that you can see? And this is sales. These are supplemental. These are videos of me doing all of the modules as well, and an actual physical book. Now, I'm thinking, we could ask the group, I would like to make it like the old key map style, so that when you're driving in your truck, when you're running around, I don't know if we remember the key maps?
I remember the AAA triptych. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, the key map, it's like, you can fold it over. It's a ring.
Yeah.
So if everybody had that, so that, there would be a digital online version, but if everyone had that, think about it. You're in your truck and you've got shit you got to do. And like, okay, what is my USP? What are our core values? All the things we don't really think about. What is our biggest top 5 objections that we get as a company? Those kinds of things where you don't have to be in the office. If you're waiting for, like, we see everyone is always in their cars moving. So I'm like, why don't we create a program that works around the person that's always in their car moving, and it also is while they're in the office so their team can have it. So I think it's going to check a lot of boxes for sure.
Yeah, it's I think it's what's needed. And I don't know. It seems like you can always get coaching, right? But one of the things that I heard and I liked the sound of it was like, if your coach doesn't have a coach, you need to get a new coach, right? And I've been chatting with people, and as I talk to them, I'm like, Steve's working with Eli Wild, And I think I kind of have 3 coaches now, but you're working with Eli Wild, and a lot of that stuff transcends, right? Cascades down, if you will, for lack of a better word, to the community, right? By way of your teachings and the way you're leveling yourself up. So Seatbelt Dave likes your idea. Bubba started it. I didn't name him that. Bubba, stop naming our members.
Stop labeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's you're working with Eli. Any of you guys that were at Mach 5 heard him speak and what he brought to the table. So it's not just coaching of the pillars, right? It's the let's make you better at sales. Let's talk about how you're showing up for the interactions that you have with others, not just in sales, but just in general. Maybe it's with the vendors and with subcontractors or property managers if you're in real estate, or we've got a bunch of different people, different businesses and entrepreneurial companies, really solopreneurs represented within the group. And I mean, doesn't it make sense to get better at communication, sales, how you interact? I mean, that's what we're doing. Doing that on our daily sales accelerator. Are you eating on my show?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
No.
Are you eating? Good. All right. I want to have another oatmeal event.
No, sir. What was interesting? I told you I'm talking to a TV show. So I have some clients that I used to coach in real estate, and they have a TV show. I think it's on HGTV. It's called Renovation Aloha. They're out in Hawaii, and I started coaching them. And Kristen and Kamahoe live out in Oahu, and I'm friends with them, and that's how it kind of started, because they were like, well, who got you involved in this?
Right.
Like who like that was a TV show asking, like, well, how did you guys learn all this? And they were like, oh, this guy's Steve Rosenberg. And so next thing I know, I'm in talks with them now, because they're like, tell us how you help them. What did you do? Oh, you just do real estate. And I'm like, actually, no. I'm like, I own a lot of real estate, and I coach a lot of people in real estate, because I think once your business is running on its own, businesses make you rich, but real estate makes you wealthy. And so I was explaining to them, actually, I work with trades, mostly contractors. There's probably the bulk of it, but yes, real estate also. And they were like, well, tell us about that. So then we started going down this rabbit hole. And after about an hour and a half call, they're like, shit, we should have recorded this, because we want to pitch this. So then I had to have another meeting with them where we actually recorded it, and they're going to create like a sizzle reel. So it just, again, my point of all this, you'd mentioned coaches having coaches. These people, they're on HGTV. They do pretty well and stuff, and I help them and give them some advice. Everybody always needs to be looking to someone that next level to get better. And Eli asked that question, where are you at on a scale of 1 to 10? And have you ever mentioned that here, Bob, when you talk about that, the way
yeah, because I kind of put it out there as like, how you doing today, scale 1 to 10, but then you came in and kind of blew that up one day with what you're getting ready to say right now, which is go ahead, I'll let you do that. But it's a definitely an interesting way to look at it, and I like that perspective.
Yeah, and I got this from Eli, so I won't take credit for it, because he may watch.
So, if you don't take credit for it, Bubba's going to. So
Bubba probably will. Yeah,
Bubba
probably will.
Yeah.
Anyways, what he asks is, where are you at on a scale of 1 to 10? And of course, everybody shouts out 9 or 10, blah blah. And he's like, well, I didn't give you the grading scale yet. Right. So let me give you the grading scale. 10 means that you have nothing else to give as a human. Like, you are capped out. Like, Elon Musk is calling you for advice. Warren Buffett wants to know what the next move should be. Like, there's nothing more that you could give as a human. 1, well, I won't tell you what he said. Well, I'll tell you what he said. He says, 1, you're doing sexual favors in McDonald's parking lot to get an Egg McMuffin. So 1 is favors.
For some people, that might be a 3.
He goes, that's how bad you are. You're living in the basement of your mom's house, and you need McDonald's, so you're going to the parking lot. And he goes, that's 1. He goes, and 10 is Warren Buffett and Elon Musk are asking you for advice. Okay. Sure. So he said, based on those, they were at an event where Tony Robbins was speaking, and Eli was a main speaker for Tony Robbins, and Oprah Winfrey was in the crowd, and Eli's girlfriend was sitting next to Oprah, and says, "Oprah, where are you? You're probably like a 20. Like, where are you at?" She goes, "I'm a 3." And they were like, "A 3?" Like, and maybe she's saying that to be humble or whatever. Right. And they said, why are you a 3? She said, "Because as a human, I have so much more to give. And I'm not even close to my potential as a person." And it was like, wow. So if Oprah is a 3, and I see people on here telling me 9, 9.5, I guess it's just a matter of perspective of where you think you are and what the boundaries are, right? Because I think we want to know what the boundaries are. So I thought that was an interesting perspective.
Yeah, that's cool. When I've said,
by the way, am I allowed to drink? I know I can't.
Yes, you may. Yeah, no slurping. Any slurping, you're out.
Thank you.
My friend Dave Brackett used to spend a lot of time at my house as kids, and we'd be in the morning when he has some cereal. If he's on here, he'll laugh. He'd be over there, I'd be over there just staring at him. He remembers it 40 years later to this day. I'm like, you gotta clean that up. Dave says, now I'm a 3.5.
Well, there you go.
Bubba dropped his to an 8.73. So we'll look to him for advice.
I think that's just how many fingers he actually has.
He has to take his shoes and socks off to count to 11. Oh shoot. Well, hey, what I was kind of had slated to chat about today was kind of a recapping a little bit of the talk I did at the Edge, where at Mach 5, called The Edge, and was about like taking the seat, right? And Steve, you're a pretty confident guy, and you've done a lot of things. I mean, have there been any times in life where you were kind of either hesitant to take the analogy, a seat at the table, so to speak? But is there a chair that you're glad you pulled out and sat down, or one that maybe you wish you did over the years?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I can just think of, off the top of my head, the first thing that came to mind is I was speaking at an event, and it was a pretty big event. Jimmy Johnson, the ex, head coach for the Cowboys, Herschel Walker, yep. Jordan Belfort, Marshall Silver, myself were all headline speakers. And I remember thinking, like, wow, like, how the fuck did this happen? That I'm up here with these guys, but I just thought, I wasn't going to let it get in my head. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm here for a reason. These people want to hear what I have to say. And they were all very nice. They're all super, they're normal guys, but normal dudes. I think when I got up there and I was me, people came back and they're like, wow, like you were one of the best speakers. And I was like, really? And, again, it's the junk we tell ourselves. Just because Jimmy Johnson's a great speaker and head coach. So is Herschel Walker. Jordan was okay. But you just assume that these people are better than you by the stuff we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, I could go on and on of talking about things in life, whether it's, learning to fly a new aircraft, flying into a new city. I mean, just shit that I've never done. I've been to almost every major city in the world. I've been to almost every continent except Antarctica. So yeah, I've done a lot of things that have made me uncomfortable, Yeah. But you start kind of thriving in that zone. I think you stop fearing it and you start actually looking for it. It's almost like the rush, I guess you could say. Like people will be like, oh man, you guys did Mach 5. You guys should be taking the 2 weeks off. I think 2 days after, you and I were already having conversations and building shit.
Dude, I got off the plane. I walked in here. Bling, bling. And I just looked at Wendy. I just shook my head. I go, guys, he's already working on the program again. I'm not even home yet.
So yeah. Instead of taking, you had talked about this at the event, and you'd done a great presentation, I thought.
Thanks,
talking about the seat at the table. Yeah. And if you don't get a seat at the table, go make your own fucking table. Go build your own. I mean, that's it's like a lot of times I think we secretly want to be asked to have a seat at the table
Right.
And, the whole reason, and I don't know if you know this, but the whole reason I started doing my 2-day events was a lot of it was during just as COVID was winding down.
Right.
And there were no stages really. And, I speak on a lot of stages, and I was like, well, fuck it. If I can't get on a stage, I'll make my own.
Right.
And so then I started doing the 2-day events and started bringing people to Houston for my 2 days, because I'm like, because the 2 days, just the stages were not existing. So I made my own tape, because I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and wait for people to ask me to speak. I'm going to do that to where they go, fuck, we need you to come, because dude, you're making some waves over there now.
Right. As Pete says, I am the damn table. What about the next thing I talked about was the edge. And I talked about the edge being, those of you guys that have read the book, it's kind of that place you go when the shit hits the fan, like what you bring to the table that others don't, how you show up differently than others. And so I know that you've been through different adversity in life, Steve, and like we all have, but some more than others. But like, what would you say your edge is? I mean, where do you, what arrow in the quiver do you pull out when the shit hits the fan?
I think my edge is being calm. I would have to say, in adversity, when things are going on, I slow down. Like, and maybe that's my training being an airline pilot. But I really, when things are hectic, I'm actually in my zone of calmness. Yeah. And I'm sure Bubba knows this from being a police officer and other people that have done stuff. Like when there's commotion, it's almost like that Matrix thing where things just kind of slow for me. And I just start methodically going through certain things, because that's what we're trained to do as pilots. And I think I've transitioned that to other things in life. So when the shit's hitting the fan or there's a problem, it's like, okay, let's just take a breath here and let's just look at what we're looking at. Is this my emotions in the moment, right? That's like when it happens. And then it's like everything has a plan, and you just have to create the execution plan. And you create the plan and you start executing one after the other methodically. And that, again, that's just my airline, flight training.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I don't know if you've ever been like, I'm not a first responder or anything, but the couple of times that I've been present at an accident scene or when something's gone on, I get really calm. Yeah. And I start telling people what to do. I'm like, what is this? I don't even know what I'm doing here. Right. But all of a sudden, that's the mode I went in. Everybody else is freaking out, and I just kind of get calm. And you're right, it does slow down. It's funny. Wendy said to me yesterday, I was just checking in with her. She had a lot going on. I said, "You good?" And she goes, I got a couple things I'm just trying to work through. I said, "Okay, whatever." And I said, but the comment she made was, she's like, "You're always good." And I was like, "What do you mean?" But what I think what she meant is that I just kind of present as pretty even keel, similar to you. Most of the time, I might rant and rave about something here and there, but I'm always kind of the same. Like what you see is what you get with me, and so I think that's probably part of my edge. Is kind of what I bring to the table is that just kind of cool, calm, collected. Let's take a step back here and think about this before we just run off and go, as you say, scorched earth, right?
Well, I think that when times are tough or when strained, everyone is looking to see who that leader is going to be.
Right.
Everybody is looking to see who's in charge. And I say this all the time, if you are asking who's in charge at that moment, you're the only one cognizant enough to be aware to ask that question, which means you are in charge.
Right.
And you're doing a shitty job right now because you are not controlling the situation.
Yeah.
Especially in a hectic emergency situation, everybody wants to be led. They want to be told what to do. They want to be told it's okay. And listen, in real estate, right? Everybody has a quote unquote emergency. Our thing was, if it's not fire, flood, or blood, it's not an emergency. So, I've had tenants call me like, my house is flooding. I'm like, well, I'm not a fucking plumber, so you're calling the wrong guy.
I had a guy tell me one time, Bob, there are no drywall emergencies.
Yeah. I mean, that's what 911's for. I'm pretty sure, those guys drive around in trucks with water in them. They could probably put the fire out better than me, but there's a thing that you got to remember is that when there is an emergency and somebody needs to take control and you're asking that question, that tells me that you're the only one that is cognizant to be able to do that. And that's an important thing to know.
100%. The other part of it. I talked about taking your seat at the table. Then I talked about finding your edge. And then I talked about raising your standard, and actually used you as an example of like a goal is something that we chase, right? A standard is something that we are, or something that we just do, right? And I talked about your standard of, hey, Steve just, he might fly into Munich at, I don't know, 2 a.m., but he goes to the gym and does his workout, then stays in his routine. It's not like, well, I'm on the road, fuck it. Let's have a pizza and a beer and I'll start working out when I get back. However, I know that you're always striving to do better. So I'll ask you the question that I ask everybody else is what's a standard you feel like you need to raise in your life? Because I know you're always reaching.
That's a good question. My goal is to help elevate other people. That's kind of my mission right now. And I think I need to do it at a faster pace, if that makes sense. Maybe not faster, maybe deeper. I think deeper is probably the better word, about helping people get to where they want to go, because, everybody always thinks they have time.
Yeah.
Everybody always thinks I'll do it later. Mm-hmm. I'll have time sometime in the future. Yeah. And once that time is gone, man, it is gone. And so, that's kind of where I'm at right now, to try to get myself to the next level. Cause I think everybody here wants to be better. I'm sure that's why we're here. That's why we get coached. And if I could impact people on a deeper level, then that's kind of what I want to do.
Yeah, I like it. I remember when you met with Eli for the weekend, it was his mastermind, right?
Yeah.
And part of the reason I jumped in and hitched my wagon to you is that you're a big thinker. And I'm like, okay, this will help me compress time to get to where I want to go and achieve my goals. And no secret, right? And but you came home from meeting with Eli and mastermind. And you go, dude, I'm not thinking big enough. And I go, oh, wait a minute. So yeah. That means I'm not thinking big enough. So that was pretty cool. That was a moment where I said, okay, this guy is always trying to get better. And so I appreciate you being willing to answer that question and, just kind of look inward a little bit, like where can we be better? And guys, we do that inside the program. We're going to challenge you. You're going to be in a room full of people like Bubba that aren't going to take your excuses and they're going to push you out of your comfort zone. So that was cool. Yeah. Hey, let's pivot a little bit. We've got some speaking engagements coming up, a little bit more travel, right? Where are we gonna be next, Steve? Well, Louisville. We're gonna go to Louisville, right?
I feel like we need like t-shirts with our dates of our concerts on the back.
Right. I got the big calendar on the other side of the wall. We actually had to come down and look at it again,
Yeah. So let's see. What do we have next week? We will be in Louisville. So I'll be up there all week from, so I'm in Savannah right now. Yep. I go to Munich, Germany, get back from Munich, going up to Louisville, be there all week. We have the Artscape convention.
Yep.
After that, we have Mid-South Pond retreat in
November 9th through the 13th.
9th through the 13th with Bubba. Yep. There'll be a lot of cool people there. Then from there, Dallas on the 13th, 14th.
That's the Job Tread
Connect.
Nope, Job Tread Boot Camp.
Sorry, Job Tread Boot Camp. End of November, you and I are going out to Alex Hormozi, to acquisition.com to do some training there, which we have. I forgot to even mention.
Do I get to meet him? Because I
he's there.
I think I can help that guy.
I think you could. The no script thing. He's a super cool guy. I tell you what, he is very cool. He's very smart, obviously, but just shoot the shit. Very smart. His whole team is amazing. Fun. Yeah. So we got acquisition.com the end of November. We have another 2-day takeoff in December, the last one of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have ground school
in December.
That I believe we may be getting Phil Kornichuk to come back.
Nice.
Leadership. So for those of you that want to come and learn from Phil, and I've got some other people we're going to talk about.
Yep.
And then January, we have Job Tread Connect.
Right. And you're speaking at the boot camp, but also speaking twice at Job Tread Connect, once in a breakout and once on, I don't know if it's on the main stage or not, but you're getting some time there to chat with people, which is good.
Yeah, I believe it's a main stage. They're calling it a tread talk, which is like an 18-minute get to the point, which is pretty good. It shows how good you are. Can you get to the point? Which I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good for you. I love when you come on here. I just fire daggers at you. Oh shit. It's gonna be a good time. I took a picture of me like on that stage last year. It was the room was completely empty. I said, Wendy, way over there. I'm gonna get up on the stage, went like that. I'm the only one in the room on that whole stage. So that's a big room and a big stage. You're gonna love that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. So hey, we forgot to mention the Live Like Jet Foundation. We're going to be actually making another donation to while at Bubba's event, Bubba Palooza, and all the proceeds from the casino night are going to go to Live Like Jet. Dude, we're getting a little momentum here with this thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We at the last at Mach 5, I believe we raised about $25,000 for Live Like Jet, which puts a student, depending on what school they go to, whether it's welding school or mechanic school or diesel, whatever they're doing, that or some certifications. But it's going to help several kids. I mean, Roy's going for a week in Belize. My buddy donated his condo in Belize.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so kind of Bubba to do the Live Like Jet as well. It just means a lot. There's these kids that are getting helped. And you guys met some of them. They came out to Papa's, right? And they came to the Ice House, and they're good kids, man. These are the next generation of tradespeople that are trying to grow. So I think it's awesome that so many people are helping them and giving them stewardship, talking to them. I know they were talking to a lot of people there, and I think it's awesome that we're all getting getting to help someone and pay it forward for the next generation of tradespeople.
Yeah, and it's cool, and hats off to Bubba for including it in the event, and that's going to be cool. So Bubba said the Edge in Maine in February. Too soon. I'm not sure. I don't know, man.
Although there was an idea that was floated. The idea was maybe one of those riverboat cruises.
Oh.
Where it's not business, but it's all business people getting together, but it's not. It's just going a group going on vacation.
Oh, cool.
On one of those riverboat cruises, like in the Mediterranean or up the Seine River or the Rhine or something like that. But
oh, wow.
So that's an idea that maybe we could all talk about doing. And we just go there. Obviously, business is going to be discussed. That's a given. But
oh yeah,
that might not be a bad spring. Maybe I don't know about this spring. We'll see. But Mach 5 in the fall, this in the spring.
Yeah. There may be something we and Bubba's been pushing me on this, something in Island Falls, Maine. That's would have to be smaller numbers, but getting people together up at my place on the lake. So you may see something like that. Bubba says get on the Mississippi River. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Steve, one of the things we haven't talked about is the daily sales accelerator. We're reworking that a little bit, taking that to the next level, and we got some exciting things coming on the role play day. I won't say much about it right now, but I mean, talk a little bit about the daily sales accelerator and the importance of just working on your game on a daily basis.
Well, look, I think that the reality is if you own a business, your business has to make money, right? Let's just cut to the basics. In order for that business to make money, you've got to understand that you have to sell something, a product, a service, a concept, an idea. You've got to sell. Yeah. And if the thing that is keeping you from success is the fact that you are not putting in the reps, it's like saying I'm going to be in a bodybuilding show, but I don't think I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to run a marathon, but I've never even stretched out. Yeah. That's what a lot of people are doing. They're trying to build a business, and the one thing that they have to do, which is putting in the reps, which is the muscle memory, of understanding objections, role playing, having the right mindset, I could see the momentum of the DSA, the Daily Sales Accelerator, growing because people are growing on it. I've got people asking me about it. So it is picking up momentum. And I know you've got something that you're about to launch. I'll let you bring that up when you're ready. But the thing is if you're not getting better, what do you think you're doing? You're getting worse. I mean, that's the reality. And if you are not closing people, someone is. And it's probably your competition. And maybe they're on there, maybe they're practicing, I don't know. But the reality is if I go ahead and I dialed into everyone's close rate, I don't know if Jason Rector's on here. Jason's here. Yeah.
He just landed.
Yeah. So Jason, it's funny you mentioned that because he and I have worked together a little bit on the side, and I've given him some tips. I don't know if you want to bring him on and maybe he can talk about it because he just Jason, are you able to talk?
Let's go. Sometimes, well, I know he doesn't have to comb his hair. So hang on, let me see.
No, he has a perfect head like myself. Bulbous.
Things are getting weird. Steve texted me this morning. Good morning. I'm going to hop on. I go, wait a minute. What are we doing here? That sounded a little weird.
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah. Yeah, you still do that. And when one of the things I've noticed about you is when someone needs help, needs a call, like me, you're pretty giving of your time. It gets us in trouble sometimes.
It does.
Jason, I just texted you the link.
Yeah, that's kind of the mission. So yes, it does, but I also think it's important. And Jason's a great example. Jason said, "Man, I need some help."
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, here's my calendar, and you know what? Now Wendy doesn't get a shirt.
Right.
Jason.
Devin.
Good morning.
My mom says I can't hang out with you guys anymore.
Probably better, Devin.
Yeah.
Jason, talk about our working together recently, man.
Well, it's been eye-opening. I tell you, it's a script that we've been building based on the Rampa formula, and meeting with Steve, the past 3 weeks now. It's I've built it out with the help of Steve and ChatGPT even, and now I'm going over it and rehearsing it and reading it, and getting in the reps is certainly a game changer. Yesterday, I hit him back on it. I go, man, what a great exercise! This is a game changer. So it's been great, man.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit, if you don't mind, how I kind of when you did your script, and I'm like, let me give it a shot, and then I did it. You want to talk a little bit to that about the difference in the conversations?
Yeah, it was really where I was going technical and fumbling on tile and colors. He showed me how to just be interested in the person I'm talking to, just like a friend, like I'm talking to you guys right now, and being informative, inquisitive, asking questions. And it's different than what I've done in the past with any other groups. And it's pretty cool, man. It's helpful. And then it's amazing because then your daily activity with anybody, it's like, man, it works, and it works instantly. Yep. It's pretty fun. It's a lot of fun.
The trade, brother. Tricks of the trade.
Man.
Yeah. That's cool. That thing you sent me yesterday, Steve, you said, I got to listen to this and go back and listen, write some stuff down. I threw these on and headed out for a walk yesterday, and I just listened to that. I'm like, I get an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to do it. I was like scratching around for a notepad, and I'm like,
right?
I'm like, wow, whoa, what are they? I got to write that down. And so, yeah, man, like that was solid. And guys, if you don't have somebody that's doing that stuff with you and pointing stuff out, and you're not being vulnerable and trying to level up, you're missing out, right? We don't get these years and weeks and days back, right, Jason? I mean, think about it. You and I are, I know you're maybe 8 or 10 years older than me, but
ouch.
Difference is I make it look good.
Yeah, right. Huh? You make 70 look good. So we've gone a long time kind of running around, not really not really knowing what we're doing, right? Like, how many years did you sell when you thought it was just like, hey man, how you doing? Yeah, want to buy my stuff? Great. Yeah, we're awesome. We do a great job. Yeah. When do we start?
Right. Right. Order takers. They're definitely not selling, but I thought it was.
I can't imagine how much work that I would have gotten.
Yeah.
If I knew what I was doing, 10, 20 years ago. So
Jason, do you notice the difference putting in the work in your confidence level when you go like, I know when you and I are doing it, we're going back and forth and I'm stopping you, but do you feel the level of assuredness that you have now going, okay, I see the base and now we can build on it?
Yes. Yes, I do. And it's not anything that you have to wait on. It's just when you do it and you start just, when I just started reading it every day, I was like, man, instantly I felt better. So the more I study it, it's just, I'm more confident. And it's just weird that it happens that quick and collapsing time, what would take most people, 10 years to learn on their own, you can now learn and with everybody in this group and, just weeks, months.
Yeah. And you were obviously at Mach 5 and you saw my presentation and I told Bob, I practiced that twice a day for weeks. And we, I had the screen and stuff, but I mean, I wanted to own it. I wanted to own my presentation and I thought I did okay. But when I was talking to Eli about it, when Eli helped me craft it and have the conversation, I said, well, I'll have a teleprompter. And he's like, so I'm like, well, how often should I practice it? And he's like, till you memorize it. I'm like, this is an hour and 20-minute presentation. He's like, yeah, you memorize it. He's like, I said, and it's funny because I asked Eli, because Eli doesn't use slides really. He has a couple. I said, you don't use slides, I notice. He said, no. I said, how come? He said, Tony never used slides, meaning Tony Robbins. He's like, you never see a president using slides. He goes, Martin Luther King never used slides. He said, those are all great presenters and speakers. He goes, I don't use slides. He's like, he is like, that is my challenge to myself, that I have to know it and I have to memorize it. I was like, that's interesting. He's like, I think he said, Anthony Hopkins will review a script 100 times before he does filming. Wow.
That's the difference between the pros.
So that's the difference. And when I asked him, he's like, do you want to make 8 figures? Do you want to make 9 figures? This is the difference. He's like, this is the no shit difference. I was like, wow, that's a good perspective, Yeah. Like you're doing, you right now, it's like you're bumbling and maybe you're stumbling a little bit. That's okay. Because eventually you're going to start getting these rhythms down. And we're gonna keep perfecting it, and we're gonna keep tweaking it and adjust to where when somebody goes, it's a bit. You turn that bit on and you go, and it's like it's just like you press play. It's like, okay, bit number 1, beat, click, hit go. Yeah. And that's how it is. It's like it's just mechanical. Or most people when they're, it's like when you think about it, Jason and Bob and everyone on here, like when you get an objection, you're probably going to get 4 to 5 of the same objections. We know time and money are always objections. So it's kind of like if we were talking and I slapped you in the face and you're like, what the hell was that for? And I'm like, didn't answer. And I start talking again and I go to hit you again. You may move the next time thinking I'm not going to get hit twice. So when people are getting hit with objections, they keep getting hit in the face over and over and over again going, I can't believe I got hit again. But they're not doing anything to overcome that. So it's like when you're going to get probably 5 objections in your presentation. Why would you not prepare and have a bit to go, okay, he said this, hit play and repeat it off. But that's the difference between a professional who prepares and an amateur who scrambles.
It's funny, Steve, you talk about those word tracks, like literally what you just said right there. I've heard before because it's something that you've said before. It's part of your it's part of your pitch. It's part of your stories. It's like sometimes there's a string in your back and you pull it out. And it's like, oh, chapter 1. And I've watched this happen with you. Somebody will say, all it takes is 1 word. And I literally can see three stories of word tracks download and you're going to go. Right. So you've I won't say you perfected it, but it's definitely part of how you interact, how you sell, how you present things to people. So it's cool. It's just like you say, like Bubba's a product of the product, and Richard's a product of you're a product of the product, and you're doing the thing. So it's cool.
Well, it's funny. Hermosi, when I met Hermosi, he was talking about how, everybody writes a book now, right? You wrote a book. I wrote a book. Ed Milet writes a book. Everybody writes a book. He goes, I've only read probably in the last several years 4 books. And he goes, I read them to where I can recite them and I can write the book myself. He goes, but I don't read current books. I read books from the past that educated. Think and Grow Rich, other ones like that. He goes, so I thought that was interesting. He goes, I just reread the same book over and over and over again. He goes, if that worked, why would we go looking for something else?
Right.
I thought that was interesting. He's like, I just keep reading. He goes, until I can write that book or say it, I don't own it yet. And I've got to own it.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good point. So, well, Jason, suffice to say that you're leveling your game up. That's awesome.
Yes.
Love to see it.
Thank you.
And let us know, excuse me, let us know when you have those interactions that go a little bit differently than maybe it would have if you hadn't spent the time, because it's interesting. Like as coaches, we give somebody something to work on, and some people, it just kind of goes over the head. Other people take it, they go back and they work on it, and then they come back and go, hey, look at what happened. Look at what I did. So, and that's when it feels good to coach and help people. So, and I know Steve feels the same way. So, anyway, so yeah, Bubba says, see you at the top, Zig Ziglar. Right. Like I said yesterday, it's lonely at the top, but you eat better.
If anybody if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, that one's like key. I mean, really 101.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. So, guys, we're way into overtime here. Steve, I don't get paid for this shit. So
it's your idea, Bob. 365. Look at me.
Holy shit.
Day 292 or something like that. So
Look at me.
Look at me. I'm having fun. Hey, well, guys, we'll bring this this edition to
put a bullet put a bullet in it.
If this was a horse, they'd have shot it about 32 seconds ago. So, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. Steve, good stuff. I know we could go all day. Jason, thanks for coming on and hanging out.
Jason.
Steve, say hi to Cisneros for me and tell him that they're still repairing the place there that he blew up with his presentation.
Yeah, that guy's on fire. I'm looking forward to meeting up with Cisneros.
Look forward to seeing you again. Jubal says, thanks for the knowledge. Guys, we appreciate you hanging out. Get to Job Tread Connect, get to Job Tread Boot Camp, get to the Mid-South Pond Retreat. If you're going to be in the Louisville area, we'll see you next week at the Hardscape North America thingy. And come see us in December for our next 2-day. And you guys that are members of our coaching program, come see us in December as well for our ground school with focus on leadership. And we're bringing in one of the best in the business, Phil Kornichuk, who was at Mach 5 as a speaker. So, that was a lot of stuff from memory right there.
Good job.
Did it well. So, all right, guys, I'm out. Have a great day. Thank you both for the time. Appreciate you. Catch up with you real soon. Back to work.
Hey, guys.
All right,
Bye.
We'll see you later.